Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a member of the Humble Warrior Collective, and I'm super excited to be with you again for Wellness Wednesday. Today, we're going to do a variation of sun salutations. Sun salutations are sometimes done in the morning to greet the new day and just sort of honor all the possibilities that the day can hold, but you can do them at any time during the day. The idea is to heat the body or warm up the body and prepare it for either movement, rest, or meditation. So, things that you'll need for our practice today: a space to practice on. So, I have a yoga mat, but you could practice at any clear space, in front of a couch, in front of a bed, in the middle of a living room, outside, even if the weather's nice, whatever works good for you. I'm also going to be using a blanket to rest at the end of our practice. And also when we come down, if there's any time where our knees touch the floor, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of padding under the knees just as an extra luxury if your knees like that extra TLC. You also could use something like yoga blocks or soup cans or big thick books to help move the ground up to you if at any point in time your hands can't touch the ground. So take some time. You can always pause this video if you need to go get those things, and then come back and we'll get started. So we're actually going to start today standing up. So if you'll join me standing, and I'm going to come to the top of my yoga mat, and I'll need to move y'all back just a little bit so you can see my whole body, and so you can see what I'm asking you to do. There we go. How's that? Can you see me now? Good. All right, so you're going to start at the top of your mat, and you can stand with your feet together or your feet apart, whatever feels best for you, just so you feel nice and strong and balanced. And so the first thing we're going to do today is actually not move through our sun salutation, but figure out what we want to try to get as we move. So one of my favorite definitions of yoga that was given to me by a wonderful teacher by the name of Rolf Gates when I got to study with him once here in Tulsa. He said that yoga is an invitation to slow your life down enough to see the choice that you're making, which is really cool because I can choose, and that gives me power. So today, I'd like for you to choose between tension and ease. And it seems like a pretty easy choice. I'd like to choose ease, but maybe it's not as clear to you. So let's try it out in our bodies. So if you would bring your hands forward and just take a nice big full breath in and a complete breath out. Good. Now take a breath in and clench your fists. Draw your elbows back toward your chest, shrug your shoulders, bend your knees, curl your toes, tighten all the muscles in your body, maybe even your face. Take another breath in, and then let it all go. So that was tension and ease. And so I know that I really want to choose ease in my practice, but feeling that tension helps me know what I don't want to choose, and then I do want to choose ease. So if you notice yourself during our practice or while we're moving together, if you notice choosing ease in any ways, maybe it's clenching your jaw or furrowing your brow or taking your shoulders up by your ears, know that that's okay. You're not even noticing that you're choosing that. But the great thing about being mindful is that you notice the choice that you're making, and then you can choose again. And if you're choosing tension, you can choose ease. So let's try to choose ease as we move through our practice. We're going to expend a little bit of effort. So we want to balance our effort and ease, but not choose tension. Are we good? Okay, let's get started. So come back to that tall standing position where you can stand as tall as you can. Take your shoulders on top of your hips and stand up really tall. You might even bring your hands to your hips and kind of make your hips go forward and make your hips go back, forward, and then back, and then find a neutral position between these two. So where your hips are not really pointing forward and not really pointing back, but just sort of pointing in the middle. So up, and your belly feels strong, and your heart is open, and your shoulders are soft. So come here, take a big breath in, lift up through the top of your head. Keep that length, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders and hands soften down to the floor. Another breath in, float your ribs away from your hips. And as you breathe out, press your feet down into your mat. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, softening down. Let's move. Inhale, reach your arms up toward the ceiling as high as you can, maybe even look up. And then bend your knees. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down to the floor, your shins, or this is a great place to use your blocks. And you can bend your knees as much as you need. So now bring your hands, either keep them on your blocks or bring them to your thighs. Lift halfway up, nice and long, like this shape of a 7, even though I know that you're a 10. And then exhale and fold forward again. Lots of bent knees, totally fine. You want to bend your knees more than rounding in your back. Good. Now, next breath in, rise all the way back to the sky, reaching up. And then exhale, bring your hands down by your side or to the space in front of your heart. So we're going to do that again. That's a half sun salutation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And see if you can match your whole movement to the whole breath. Inhale, lift halfway up. Nice and long. Good job. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way to the sky. Bigger bend in the knees. And then exhale, hands down to your side or the space in front of your heart. All right, let's keep moving. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. So we're going to do something new this time. Inhale, lift halfway up. Good. Now, as you exhale, step your right foot back and drop your knee. Now, for me, I like the luxury of some padding underneath my knee, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my blanket and bring it there. If you have a blanket and you want that, you can stay here, or just don't use the blanket. So, on your next breath in, reach your arms up to the sky. And then just check out what's happening. If you're noticing this wobble, you might call that tension. You could bring your hands down to your thigh for a little bit more stability. So the great thing about adding mindfulness into your day is you get to figure out what you need and do more of that. So you might stay here, you might have your arms reaching up. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Good. On your next inhale, lift your heart a little higher. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to blocks or to the floor. I'm going to move to the floor. And then step your left foot back to hands and knees. Take a breath in, drop your belly, lift your heart, look forward. This is called cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin, lift your back toward the ceiling. Cat pose. Good. Inhale, come back. Flat back, tabletop. Good. Tuck your toes. As you breathe out, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. If for any reason this doesn't feel good on your wrist, you can just stay in tabletop. And then walk both of your feet to the front of your mat. Again, bringing your hands to your thighs or blocks if needed. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Nice job. Inhale, reach all the way to the sky, bigger bend in the knees, maybe even look up. And then exhale, hands down. Good. Let's do the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And then again, lift halfway up, long, strong back, look slightly forward, and then fold. This time, step your left foot back and ground your left knee. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky or a hand or both hands to your thighs and find some stability here. Take a breath in and out. Breathe in. And then exhale, hands down. Step your right foot back to hands and knees. Tabletop pose. Breathe in, drop your belly, lift your heart, look slightly forward. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your back to cat pose. Inhale, come back, tabletop, flat back. Stay here or breathe out, downward facing dog. And you might see my dog in the frame because she heard me say dog. So take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, walk your feet forward to meet your hands and fold all the way. Good job. Inhale, lift halfway up again. And exhale, fold. Nice job. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, hands down to your sides or to your heart. And you might hear my dog throughout the rest of the video because she just feels like she needs attention today. I think we all feel like that sometimes, but she's being loud, and so you might hear her. But we're going to keep going because we're taking care of ourselves and focusing on ourselves right now. So inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, fold forward. So we're going to add on to what we did before. Now this time, step your right foot back, and you can keep your knee up or down. Either's fine. So inhale, rise up, hands to your thigh or to the sky. Good. Take your shoulders back on top of your hips. Big breath in, lift your heart. And then exhale, bring your hands back down to the floor to your blocks. And then step your front foot back to plank pose. And you can drop your knees down to the floor. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, lower all the way down to your belly. Great job. Bring the tops of your feet to the floor. Take your shoulders onto your back. Hug your elbows in. And then inhale, lift your heart off the floor. Any amount, but take your shoulders away from your ears so your neck is long. Exhale, lower down. Good job. Press up, hands and knees. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in, look forward. Walk your walk your feet to meet your hands. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way to the sky, reaching up. And then exhale, hands down to your heart or to your sides. Let's do the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step your left foot back this time. Great job. Knee up or knee down, totally up to you. Get steady in your legs. Inhale, rise up, bringing your shoulders on top of your hips. You can bend your back knee if that feels good. Big breath in, lift your heart. Exhale, look for opportunities to release tension. Unclench your jaw, soften your shoulders. Good. Breathe in, reach up. And then exhale, hands down. Step your front foot back to plank, as many steps as you need. Again, knees down or knees up. Strong belly, strong arms. Breathe in. And then exhale, lower down to your belly. Good. Shoulders on your back. Tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale, lift your heart any amount. You might even lengthen your arms all the way, but keep your head and neck nice and soft. Exhale, lower down. Good. Let's press up, hands and knees are plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in, look forward towards your hands, and then walk, jump, or step your feet forward. You can even tap dance if you like. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Good. So we're going to add on here. On your next breath in, reach your arms up. And as you breathe out, lean to your right. Big lean, little lean, doesn't matter. You just want a nice stretch on the left side of your body. Soften your knees. Big breath in. Exhale, maybe lean a little further. Good job. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, other side. Staying here for that same breath. So send your breath to your side body. And as you breathe out, see if you can soften, choosing ease, maybe bending a little bit more. Good. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, fold forward. So we're going to add on again. Step your right foot back, knee up or knee down. And I'm going to drop my knee this time. Now, take your right hand and move it further toward the side of your mat. Bring your left hand to your left thigh. Press away from the floor. And as you breathe out, turn your chest towards your knee. Good. Keep your hand on your knee or reach your arm up to the sky. Take your bottom shoulder behind you. Breathe in and out. Good. Inhale, bring both of your hands back down to the floor. Step your front foot back to plank, knees or toes. So I'll take knees this time. Take a breath in. And then exhale, lower down to your belly, nice and slow. And you want your hips and your chest to hit at about the same time. Good. tops of your feet to the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, lift your heart, and you might even lift off of your legs onto your feet, upward dog, or you can stay with that other back bend we did, cobra. Nice. Tuck your toes, drop your knees, hands and knees are plank, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Y'all are doing great. Let's keep going. Bend your knees, look forward, step, float, walk, feet to your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to the sky, reaching up. Let's do that lean to the side. Exhale, lean to one side. Good. Breathe in, come back to center. Exhale, other side. Nice. Breathe in, come back to center. Exhale, fold forward, doing the other side. So this time, take your left foot back. Knee up or knee down. It's up to you. Take your left hand off to the side. Bring your right hand to your thigh. Press down into your hand that's on the ground, your hand that's on your thigh. Lift your heart away from the floor. And as you breathe out, turn towards your knee. Good. Stay here or reach your arm toward the ceiling. Nice. Take your bottom shoulder behind you. Good. Big breath in. Full breath out. Nice. Hands come down. Step your front foot back to plank. Knees or toes. And then exhale, breathe out, lower all the way to your belly. Y'all are doing great. Inhale, lift up. Nice. Exhale, lower down. Press up, hands and knees are plank. I'm going to choose hands and knees. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to do something different from here. Take a full breath into downward facing dog and bend your knees. Press your hands into your mat, and as you breathe out, lift your hips a little higher. Good job. Inhale, bring your knees down to the floor. And then exhale, shift your hips back any amount towards your heels. Child's pose. So a couple different options. You could stay here. You could let your forehead come down to your mat. You might even rock a little side to side on your forehead. If it doesn't feel good for your forehead to be down or your head to be down, you can look forward, maybe forearms down to the floor. You're going to get to see all my animals today. Isn't that exciting? I'd love to see yours. So you could stay here. If this doesn't feel good on your knees, if it's too much of an angle for your knees, you can always lift your hips on top of your knees and then bring your forearms down to the floor, maybe stretching fully out. This is just a place for rest. So find a nice place for rest. Whatever child's pose works for you. Knees can be together, knees can be wide. Take another full breath in. And then take a longer breath out through your mouth. Good. Breathing in. And out. Nice job. Walk your hands up towards your knees. Come to a seat. Whatever seat is comfortable for you. And you may be practicing by yourself, you might be practicing with a family member, and you might be practicing with a pet. But if you're practicing with anybody but yourself, make sure you have your own space to move around. And then bring your feet in front of you. Bend your knees, plant your feet, bring your hands behind your hips. Good. Take a breath in, lift your heart, press down into your feet and your hands. And if it feels okay, lift your hips up. And take your right ankle on top of your left thigh and then drop your hips back down. Now, just check in and notice what you feel here. If this is a big stretch for you, you can walk your left foot forward and sit up a little more. You might even come all the way up like this. Now, if this is not enough stretch for you, you could begin to walk your left foot back. But what you want to do is keep your heart open and your back long. And then notice where the challenge is. Sometimes this is a big stretch for people in that right hip. So if you notice challenge, also notice how you respond to it. Do you add a clench in your jaw or a shrug of your shoulders? It's just us subconsciously choosing tension, and sometimes it happens. But can you choose again and choose ease? So unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders away from your ears, maybe take a little bit less so that ease is an option. Big breath in, full breath out. Let's do one more. Good job, y'all. Now, press down into your hands and your feet. Lift your hips again. Uncross your right leg. Bring it down to the floor. Hips down. Sit up. Shake out your wrists. Give them a little break. So take your wrists forward. Take your hands down. Palms up. Palms down. Make a fist. Open it. Close it. Open it. Close it. Great. Let's do the other side. So press your hands down to the floor, feet into the floor. Lift your hips. Take your left ankle above your right thigh. Drop your hips, lift your heart, give your chin a slight tuck. So I feel a lot more challenge on this side, on my left hip. So I'm going to walk my right foot out. But if you need more challenge, you can walk your right foot in. I might even bring my right foot all the way down. So take a breath in and a full breath out. And you could stay right here. Or if you want to add more, wherever you are, bring your chest closer towards your calf. So if you're sitting up, it might look like this. If you're here, it would look like this, taking weight out of your hands. So wherever you are, take 2 full breaths and use your out breath to choose ease. Nice job, y'all. Press your hands down into your feet, your hands and your feet into your mat. Lift your hips, uncross your left leg, drop your feet, drop your hips. Let's add one last back bend today. So press your feet down into the floor. Inhale, lift your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good. You can stay here. This is enough. This is totally great. Or you could begin to press into your hands and feet a little more, lifting your hips. And you could stay in this M shape. I like that. My name's Melissa. M's a great letter. Or you could take your hips in line with your knees and your shoulders for a reverse tabletop. So whatever feels good to you, you could even leave your hips down. Where you are, take a breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, lift just a little higher. And then exhale, if your hips are lifted, bring them down to the floor. Release your hands. You might feel a little release from your shoulders. And then sit and take your knees to the left and your feet to the right. And it might look like this, or you could look like this, totally fine. If it feels better to bring a blanket underneath your sit bones to prop you up, you can totally do that too. Bring your hands to the left. Take a big breath in, sit up nice and tall. And as you breathe out, turn to your left. Good. Now remember that in-breath helps you lengthen up. And as you breathe out, helps you choose ease, softness, or maybe deepens your twist. You could even look back over your shoulder. Take one more breath. And breathe out. Inhale, come back to center, untwisting. And then take your feet around to the other side, like a mer-human. And then take your hands to the right, feet to the left, knees to the right. Sit up nice and tall. So this is an asymmetrical pose. Both hip bones might not be down to the floor. You can always bring a blanket underneath one so you feel a little bit more balanced. Big breath in. Full breath out, turning to your right. Good. Again, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist a little deeper or soften. Maybe peek over that back shoulder. Stay here for one more breath. Good. Inhale, untwist, come back to the front of your mat. Sweep your feet in front of you. And then you can find a nice place to rest. So for today, I'm going to bring the blanket underneath my head like a pillow and clear the space and roll down to my back. So find what works best for you. If you have a bed or a couch nearby, you can always lay on that nice soft couch or bed. And then you can take your legs nice and long. Today, my low back says that this isn't what's best for me. This is a little bit of tension. So I'm going to bend my knees and bring my feet a little bit wider and let my knees fall together. You could also lie on your belly or your back or your side. So wherever you are, take a moment to get used to being on your back in this moment or lying down. Feel your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your heels heavy, supported by the floor or whatever is beneath you. You could continue to look up or down, or you can close your eyes. Let the muscles in your face soften. Unclench your jaw. Let your shoulders fall down away from your ears. Choosing ease and softness throughout your body. Soft chest, soft back and belly. Heavy hips and legs. Let the bottoms of your feet and the palms of your hands soften and release. And take this time for rest, time to choose ease, simply because you deserve those things. You could choose to stay here for a long time, but just for today, let's just count 10 breaths. So what I want to invite you to do is notice your belly rise and notice your belly fall as you breathe out. Inhale, belly rises. Breathing out, belly falls. So watch your belly rise and fall for 8 more breaths. And you can choose to stay here longer. It just feels nice to lie down. But when you're ready, begin to really gently wake yourself back up. You might wiggle your toes and fingers. You might rock your head gently side to side. And then take a big breath in, stretch super long, fingers to toes. You might even yawn. And then really gently roll to your side if you're not already there. And take a few breaths here. And then use your top hand to press yourself up to a seat. Come to any comfortable seat. I like crisscross applesauce. You might even bring your hands to the space in front of your heart. Take a breath in, sit up super tall, and breathe out. And just notice in this moment if you feel better, worse, or the same than you felt before we started moving together. Do you notice more ease and less tension? I do, and I hope you do too. So thank you so much for taking the time to move and breathe for yourself and today with me. and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Enjoy your Wednesday. Bye-bye.